you get in the shade? I'm in the bloody sun here. I need to get in the shade. This sun's it's very warm today. It's the 10th of January, February, March, April, May, June, July. I have to think then. I always get July and August mixed up, but yeah, it's the 10th today, Sunday the 10th. I'll try and get this video up later on today. Been round the car boots this morning, nothing of consequence what we bought. Bought a stapler, should have cost 20 quid, I paid 2 quid for it. Bought some coins, nothing of consequence. Just bread and butter coins, that's all, which we like to buy. Olympics and stuff like that. Like I say, we're back here. We've opened all the greenhouses, fed Buttercup, done the watering. I'm just chillaxing here with my little bow or boo. And yeah, we have been busy this week. I've been potting on some brassicas, show you that in a bit. We've been planting some giant marigolds, the African variety, I'll show you that as well. We've been lifting the peas, what was left of them. We've ate most of them. I'm surprised Annie's going home, but you'll see in the video. And we're actually going to be sowing some more directly into the bed. What else we've been doing? Well, we've been picking a load of fruit. Buttercups helped keeping the birds off my fruits. Mine are the only bushes which actually got fruit on them. However, she's not doing a very good job with that bloody thrush. I've got a cherry tree and it was full of cherries, and I noticed it yesterday. In fact, I was stood right next to it and the cheeky little bugger was ripping me cherries off my cherry tree, and I was only about 5 foot away from it. In fact, let me show you. That little cheeky little bugger there. Little thrush. Right? Pinching me cherries, look at it right in front of me. The audacity. He doesn't even care about me. I only stood about 6 foot away from it. Look at it getting stuck into that cherry. You cheeky little sod. Unbelievable. Yeah, the sun's sort of in the way there. I don't know if you can see him. Oh, eat this, the same cherry, not another. He's got little buggers going for another cherry there. Oh, you little bugger. Yeah, bloody thrush. Got a taste for cherries. Now, the tree's a bit big to cover. I do need to prune it. It is a very young tree. It's about 2-3 year old, that tree, but it's doing well. I reckon next year we're going to have some really nice big cherries. This year they've got cherries on it, which is a result, and we've got lots of them. Trouble is, that bloody thrush has got a taste. Fistral thrush it is. It's got a taste for the cherries, and it was sat there gorging on them. Anyway, at least she keeps them off me strawberries, gooseberries and raspberries. Let me show you, these are what we've harvested. Well, these are some gooseberries. The gooseberries are everywhere. I'm just getting a few here, but they're nice flowers, aren't they? There's me shed, my greenhouse, some of my greenhouses. But yeah, here's my plot, and yeah, these are my gooseberries. They're just covered in them. I'm just getting stabbed to death here picking them. But these plants are absolutely plastered in them. Every branch is like that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 or 7 gooseberry plants here. So yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome when we're finished. At the moment, I'm just picking all the nice red ones. And the only person who really likes these is my mother. So happy days, Mum. Get the ice cream here, and I'll have you these home in a bit. Yeah, so lucky for me, I'm the only one with gooseberries. Like I say, the birds have had everyone else's. The reason why is because of her. Her here, who's fast asleep. She has been doing her job. I have noticed on the floor there a feather, and I don't know where the rest of it is. But there's a feather there. You can bet that bugger's at it. She's guarding me red currants. That's what you want. You want a Moggy. Get yourself a cat. If you got in a garden, and get yourself a cat. You won't have any rats or mice, and you'll have lots and lots of fruit like that. These gooseberries, these raspberries, these currants, you name it, they're currants then, red currants. But yeah, she certainly keeps an eye on them for me when she's awake. Well, there's some real nice berries there, loganberries. They taste absolutely awesome. I'll get some ice cream. I'm going to put that in it, and that's what I'm going to have for dessert later. Absolutely awesome. I've got tons of them still to pick. But yeah, nice result. Just grabbed some nice strawberries here. And gooseberries. These are for my next door neighbour. Connie, give it a treat. And just getting ready for the off. There's Buttercup, fast asleep. I'll be back later on. It's like early morning, and I've got things to do. But she'll just snooze there until I get back later. There you go. Anyway, yeah, they're going out with Connie's now. Next, well, I'll just stick them over the fence, over my garden fence, and she in a plastic bag. Got the bag somewhere in my pocket. What I'm going to put them in. Yeah, there they are. Pile of bags here. And that's what we're going to put them in. We just hang them over. I've got a nail on the fence, and I just hang them over, and she runs off in, gets the cream, and away she goes. Bit of sugar on them gooseberries. I like to put them in a pan and turn them to mush and put them in a pie, them gooseberries. That's the best way to have them. But strawberries, well, you can eat them anyway, can't you? Right, onwards and upwards. So yeah, the fruits and the bushes are a good. I mean, we've not even picked the red and white and black currants yet, and the trees are under so much stress because they've got so many of these berries on them. We definitely need to start grabbing a few of them, otherwise they'll be snapping. Anyway, I might even see them here behind me, my hands. Absolutely covered, yeah. Never mind you, licking your lips. So anyway, yeah, that's what we've been harvesting. We've actually been potting on some brassicas. Now I had a load of brassicas in the back greenhouse, and they needed transplanting, putting in a bigger pot. So that's what we've done. So let me show you now what we've been doing. Well, today you got me planting on these pointy cabbage. I'm putting them in some bigger pots. Here are my cabbages. Just planting them a bit deeper. Putting them on. I had them in some small pots, some small trays. Give them a good firming in. There we go, that's the first one. And in fact, let's do them all in the same pots. Yeah, they started to get a bit stressed out where they was, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in these pots, and I'm going to be putting them into, I've got a bed at the back of the plot with a cage over the top of it. So that's where I'm going to stick these, because I've got no room. I'm actually got no room at the moment to in the greenhouses, because they're all full. And what we'll do, we'll bring these on a bit underneath that cloche, and then we'll plant them out in the onion bed. That's the plan. Now these are pointed cabbage. Probably end up giving some of these away, I don't need them all. Good root systems on them. Like I say, you want a good firming in these, they really do like firm soil. So that's what we're doing. It's overcast today. Got fed up of watching the news. Just watched Boris Johnson kick it in the head. Thought I had enough of that, so here I am. Thought we'd come and do some of this. Where was you on that day that Boris Johnson resigned? Well, myself, I was on the allotments, potting some cabbages, potting on some cabbages. Where was you? In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this. I've got a couple of these trays. What I'm going to use is use these as drip trays, and this is what we're going to sit them in. In the bed. I'll show you when we're done. I've got some broccoli as well to put out, and kale. Right. Like I say, they really do. Brassicas love firm soil. Right, so we'll be back when we're finished. Like I say, I've got a few more to do. I don't know how many I've got here. What we've done there so far, this will be the 10th one. Again, good firming in. There we go, perfect. So we've got 10 there, 3, 6, we've got 20. Right, I'll be back when we're done and I'll show you how we're going to put them in these drip trays. Okay, well guys, that's the first of that's the pointy cabbage. I just got called away. Buddy lending the strimmers out. So this is pointy cabbage, that's what it's called. I'm going to do some kale in a minute. I'll set it up and I'll be right back. Like I said, I'm just going to move this tray, get some more compost into the other tray, and then we'll line them all up here. We'll be right back. So there we go guys, we've got 20 pointy head cabbage called Sweetheart. We've got, well, this 10 roundhead cabbage called Mozart in there. There's another 10 in there called Mozart, and there's 10 kale, and they're called well, actually not kale, broccoli, and they're called Marathon F1s. So yeah, I'm going to leave them in these drip trays, and we're going to put them in a bed at the back of the plot. We're going to leave them outside and just leave them to their own devices. Obviously we're going to cover them. If we was to leave them like that here for any amount of time, the wood pigeons would just rip them to shreds. But yeah, what we're going to do, we've got a frame down there what we're going to put them in. Just sit them in the bed with a cage over the top of them, and leave them for a few weeks until we've sorted all the onions out, the onion bed, because I need to put lime in there and prepare the bed for all my cabbages. Right, so yeah, we've got 50 in total. 50 brassicas, plus the brassicas that are in the back bed, so quite a few of them actually, different varieties, greyhound and what have you, golden acre, yeah, load of collies as well, all year round collies. So yeah, we'll be getting these out shortly, but I'm going to just leave them in the pots for now. We're going to give them a good water in a bit from the base, and I think they'll be good to go, these. Right, let me show you where we're setting them up. So here's where we put the cabbages. We put them outside actually, and yeah, when you do that, you make sure you put a net over them, otherwise you will lose them. They'll sit out here comfortably until I'm ready to put them into this bed. We've got to lift the onions out of here shortly. They've all fallen over now, so it's just a matter of pulling them up and tidying the bed up, throwing a load of lime in there, and then we're right. But for now they're floating in water. I give them a good soaking from the bottom, and 2-3 weeks in there, they'll be okay. Right, anyway, onwards and upwards. So yeah, there's some round head and there's some pointy head cabbage there. I think it was Kayla's. It was 50 of them that I've done. They're in drip trays, as you just saw at the back of the plot. In a few weeks' time, we'll plant them out in the onion bed. Now we was going to lift the onions, but I had other jobs on. But what I did do is I went in and did a bit of weeding. I took a load of weed out and I ended up chucking them into my chickens. So I did a little clip just to show you the onions. So let me show you these. These are my onions. They've gone over now. They're not going to grow anymore. They need lifting. However, like I say, that's a job for in the middle of next week to do, I suppose, and lift them all out. So let me show you my onions. And I'll show you what we did with the weed. Well, as you can see, the onions, they've fallen over now and they've died. You see how they died back? Pull one of these onions up. That's what my onions look like, guys. Beautiful. We're going to be lifting these out shortly. I've took a few home today for my mother and a few for me. When I say a few, we took about £30 of them, but as you can see, the old bed is just covered in them. So yeah, we'll be in here shortly. I'm just taking the weeds out at the moment. Going to throw them in for the chickens. I've got a pile of weeds here, so I'm just pulling them out. I've not been able to get into there until now, so yeah, we're going to take them out, throw them in for the girls to eat. They make short work of all these weeds here. Anyway, I'll get them into the chickens and then we'll come back to these onions, and we'll get them lifted. We'll tidy the bed because we've got a load of cabbages, as you will have seen by now, to go into here. So we'll be right back. Anyway, let's get this out, get the rest of these weeds out, and we cracked it. So I just pulled a few weeds out there of this bed for me chickens. We're going to be lifting these onions tomorrow maybe. I don't know yet. We've been taking a few out. These are the sort of onions that we're getting though. I don't know if you can see them. They're about 3.5 inches across. Beautiful. No scalitosis on them. No problems at all. Like I say, when an onion's ready for picking, what happens is it falls over like that and drops back. So that's when you know to pick your onions. Anyway, I'll leave these in here for now. We don't need them. I'm just going to put the cover back over. We'll come in here tomorrow and we'll lift all these onions, but for now they're just going to sit in there. Bloody buttercup, keeping an eye on events. But yeah, they've got quite a lot in there. I think there's about 200 at last count. Definitely got enough onions to see me through until December anyway. Well, there's my girls making short work of the weeds out of this this bed that I'm working on. So they're getting stuck in there, and I'm going to get stuck in and just give it a knowing, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. So as I was saying, when the onion goes over, that's it. It's not going to grow anymore. So it's best off just lifting them up, drying them out a bit, putting them in trays, and letting them dry out, and then you can store better. We threw all the weeds, what was in there, to the chickens. Chickens make short work of that, and they turn it into compost, so it's a win-win, isn't it, really? We pick all the compost out, we throw it straight back in the bed. We pick all the weeds out, throw them into the chickens, and recycle them that way. I don't have to throw much into me compost bins because the chickens do most of the work for me. We've planted some giant marigolds, African variety. They grow to about a metre tall, and we've scattered them around the front of the plot, around the fruit trees, bushes, and what have you. I did start the video and realised I hadn't turned it on, but you're going to see now where we've put all these beautiful marigolds. You might see me planting one or two of them as well. Well, would you believe it, I never had the camera turned on, and I've just been putting a few of these marigolds into this bed here. I'm going to put about five or six into here. Got a few of them here. Spread them at the back. Unfortunately, I've done the front first like an idiot. But yeah, these marigolds will fill this area up here shortly. Big long taproot there. Yeah, it only takes about 5 or 6 of them to fill this area, and I'll give them a good watering as well. And I can hear an ice cream van playing there in the background, so I'm just going to have to put the camera on pause for a moment, but I will come back and show you them all done in a moment. Well, this is where we've stuck some of them giant marigolds. Just give them a good watering in. We'll go and find some places for the rest of them. Like I say, I've got Buttercup watching intently there. As you can see, we've got a pile more to put in. But yeah, in a couple of weeks' time, this area will be full of giant marigold flowers, hopefully. Right, let's move on, because I've got a few more places to stick some more of these marigolds. So I've put some of these marigolds along the front of my strawberries here. Underneath that brick there's an ant's nest. I'm not going to disturb it, but yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to water the plants. So okay, they're going to get a little bit wet maybe. No, they ain't. Like I say, just give them a good watering. Wow, look at that millipede there. Get that bugger. Look at the size of the millipede. All curled up. Won't move while them. Oh, there you go. Look at the size of that bugger. It's about inch and a half long, that. Yeah, got plenty of them on here. They do no harm. And they've not touched my strawberries, so I can live with them. There you go. Leave it where I found it. Like I say, work with nature, not against it. Right, anyway, so I've got these giant marigolds in here. I've got a few here. I've got a few over the other side. So there's going to be a splash of colour over here as well. That's what we'll hoping for anyway. Yeah, I just put a few marigolds in here as well, next to me Loganberries. There's dwarf marigolds here, but just here there'll be 3 really big ones. You can see that they're already so big. Probably have to tie them up, otherwise they get top heavy and fall over. But yeah, we'll get a few marigolds in, bring some more colour to the place. So yeah, we've got all the marigolds out, so everything barring a few chilies, and we've got some celery which we need to prick out and pot on as well. I really should have planted that by now, but I've been rushing to do other things and I've not got round to it, so that's another job to do. So what we're going to do now is finish on a potato reveal after a fashion. Now, I don't know if you remember, we bought some Jack's Magic from Wicks. We paid £2.50 for these bags. We bought 10 bags and we did 10 30-litre buckets. We put 2 seed potatoes in, we put bloodfish and bone, we put grow more in. However, when I was doing the video, I made a comment about the soil looked really horrible, and it was a trial and we thought we'd give it a go. Now normally we grow the potatoes in clover and we get great results. I've done 30 buckets in clover and every one of them's looking good. So what we're going to do now is show you this this potato reveal, and we'll be right back. Well guys, these are them swift what we've done in that Jack's Magic, and I just looked there and there's no growth on the top of them at all. It's all died back, so I'm really expecting a real poor weighing from this. Now we put these in the 23rd of the 2nd this year, and I'm gonna tell you now, I'll be lucky if I've got a pound of spuds in here. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So we won't know. And I mean, look at this here, they've completely died back, so whatever we get out of here will be a miracle if there's more than what I think there is. So we're going to find out right now. Well, we have got some spuds. Got a plastic bag somewhere. There we go. Now this compost is absolutely horrible compost. That is. There. Wow, we've got a spud. Have I got it turned on? Let me see if I've got the camera turned on. I think it's recording. So yeah, these really poor tiny little spuds. I think the worst weight was about £2, so this is, just by looking at this, I do believe this is going to be the worst weight I've ever had out of spuds. Like I say, that Jack's Magic, it's not very good. Well, what I can see from at the moment is these spuds. I've not done the compost is lovely and moist. Let's drop that back in there. Right, so this is a bit of a disaster, guys, and to be quite honest with you, I was half expecting it. Just get my scales. Set 2 ounces. Wow, 19.39 ounces. £1.2. So that's what they are, £1.2. They're Jack's Magic, done in Jack's Magic compost. So I had a horrible feeling that's the sort of weight I was going to get with this, just by the looking at the compost. Bit of a failure really, that compost for me. I think what I need to do with that stuff is to mix it with something else. But yeah, I got a bag of spuds there. Suppose I'm going to have some finny haddock tonight, so guess what I'm having? Them potatoes. And all the other potatoes, what's done in that Jack's Magic, I would imagine they're all the same. Now, I do know the clover is doing really well, but we've got another couple of weeks yet before we lift them out. And you're going to be talking 6 to 10 pound of spuds out of each of them buckets. But that Jack's Magic, well, there you go. You can't win them all. I wondered why that compost was so cheap. Now I know. I paid £2.50 for a 60 litre bag. Makes sense why it was so bad. But yeah, I got £1.2 ounces of Swift out of that 30 litre bucket. So anyway, there we go. Keeping it real and keeping it honest. We'll do another reveal shortly, but we'll do out the clover, and you'll see the difference. It'd be staggering, I assure you. So Buttercup's just run off to David. David's just turned up. That's my plot holder next door to me. She's run over to say hello, giving me 5 minutes. But yeah, that potato reveal was terrible, wasn't it? I knew there was something up when a few weeks ago, when the clove, the ones what we did in clover, was grew twice as fast as the ones what we did in the Jack's Magic. I won't mind, we did them 5 weeks apart, and there was twice as high. But yeah, you take the ups and you take the downs. I've got to tell you though, the potatoes, we took them home and we had some finny haddock and peas and a knob of butter, and it was absolutely fantastic. They tasted okay, but the quantity, that was the problem. The quality was okay, but the quantity was terrible. That's the worst potato reveal I've ever had. And yeah, we've got another 9 of them buckets, so I'm not holding out for them. But the others, what we've done in clove, I can tell you they're going to be fine. We normally average around about 5 to 10 pound out of each bucket of them. I think my record's £25 out of a 30 litre bucket, so we wait with bated breath. But that's where we are today. I would like to say thanks for taking time to watch the video. Unfortunately, Buttercup ain't here to say goodbye, so I'll say it for her. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you back here for some more next week. well, have them onions out of that onion bed, and we'll get the lime in there and get the beds ready for the brassicas. So with that, goodbye for now.